My name is Lena. I'm 29 years old, and I should have known something was wrong the moment my boyfriend hit 50,000 followers on Instagram. It started innocently enough. One reel went semi-viral, then another. Then suddenly, everything we did needed better lighting. When Evan, 31, posted photos of the engagement ring, he gained 10,000 followers in a week. People didn't comment on the ring. They commented on us. Relationship goals, power couple, Beth and Ryan energy. Except we weren't Beth and Ryan. We were Lena and Evan, or at least we used to be. Evan started calling us a brand like it was a compliment. People love us, he'd say, scrolling through comments while we lay in bed. They don't know us, I'd reply. He'd laugh and kiss my forehead. They will. I thought it was cute. I thought he was excited. I was wrong. 3 months before our wedding, Evan asked me to sit down at the kitchen table. He had his laptop open, a clicker in his hand. Okay, he said, grinning. Hear me out before you react. The screen lit up. Slide 1. Monetizing our special day. I blinked. Once. Twice. He launched into it like a TED Talk. Weddings cost at least 30 grand, he said. But if we're smart, we won't spend anything. Click. Sponsored dress, 5 grand minimum. Click. Sponsored venue, exposure for them, free for us. Click. Sponsored catering. Food influencers are huge right now. Click. Sponsored rings. We already have rings, but these are just for photos. I stared at the screen, then at him. You already talked to brands? I asked quietly. He didn't hear the tone. Of course, I've been documenting our relationship for 2 years. The proposal video has 2.8 million views. He said it proudly, like he'd cured something. We're sitting on a gold mine, Lena. I looked down at the spreadsheet. CPM rates, engagement metrics, projected revenue. Our first date reduced to bullet points. Our relationship, I said slowly, isn't a product. He laughed. That's where you're wrong. Then he said the sentence that changed everything. Oh, and we'll need you to sign some releases so I can use your image for sponsored content. Like he was asking me to pass the salt. Send them over, I said. He beamed. I knew you'd understand. That night, while Evan filmed a wedding planning routine video in the living room, I called my cousin. She's a lawyer, intellectual property. By morning, I wasn't his fiancé. I was his biggest liability. By the time Evan finished editing his wedding planning reel, I'd already stopped crying. That surprised me. I thought there would be tears, shaking hands, a dramatic confrontation. Instead, there was clarity, cold, sharp, almost peaceful. My cousin Marissa didn't sugarcoat anything. Lena, she said over speakerphone, you can't copyright love, but you can copyright how it's told. That sentence stayed with me. While Evan negotiated floral partnerships and hashtag strategies, I gathered files. Every raw video I had filmed, every proposal clip I edited, every caption draft saved in my Google Docs with timestamps, emails where Evan asked, "Can you write something emotional? You're better at that." By sunrise, I'd filed paperwork, copyright registration for our proposal video, trademark applications for Lena and Evan, Evan and Lena, and 3 variations he'd used online. Formal claims over all jointly documented couple content I had created. $1,500 in filing fees. Best money I've ever spent. Evan had no idea. He was too busy pacing the apartment, talking to someone from a bridal brand. Yeah, authenticity is everything, he said loudly. People feel our connection. 2 weeks later, the first email landed in my inbox. Hi, Lena. We'd love to license your proposal story for a campaign featuring Evan. Budget. $3,000 for limited usage rights. I replied politely. Thanks for reaching out. I own the copyright. Evan can participate, but all story usage goes through me. They didn't respond. They called Evan. He burst into my home office 10 minutes later, face flushed, phone clenched in his fist. What the hell did you tell Pure Romance Jewelry? The truth, I said calmly, that I own the copyright. You can't copyright our relationship. I didn't, I said. I copyrighted the creative expression of it. His mouth opened, closed. The videos I filmed, the captions I wrote, the brand name, it's all legally mine. His face went pale. That's sabotage, he snapped. No, I said, it's business. You said so yourself. That's when he lost it. First, he tried to go around me. He stopped using our name, started posting as Evan and partner. Engagement dropped 60% in a week. Turns out people weren't there for him. They were there for us. Then he tried recreating the proposal. Same location, same speech. But this time, it was his sister's boyfriend standing in for me. Face not shown, voice altered. Posted with the caption, "Recreating our perfect moment." The comments were brutal. "Where's Lena? This feels fake. Did they break up?" He deleted it after 12 hours. Sponsors started backing out. The makeup brand wanted the Lena and Evan love story. The dress designer wanted our journey to the altar. Without my signature, Evan had nothing. He tried threatening me next. "I'll call off the wedding," he said, pacing. "Okay," I replied. "You don't mean that." "You turned our relationship into a business," I said. "I'm just protecting my assets." "This isn't you," he said desperately. "Someone's manipulating you." "No," I said. "You manipulated yourself into thinking our wedding was content." That's when he switched tactics. Suddenly, he was cooking elaborate dinners, buying gifts, planning romantic surprises. All filmed, always filmed. Then came the crying video. "Wedding planning is so stressful," he sniffed into the camera. "Legal stuff is really weighing on me." He didn't mention me. His followers flooded the comments with sympathy. That's when he made his first real mistake. He went live. Someone asked about wedding sponsors. Evan sighed dramatically. "Lena's being difficult about the business side," he said. "She doesn't really understand influencer marketing." I was watching. I commented from my account. "I understand it perfectly. That's why I trademarked our brand." The chat exploded. He ended the live stream immediately. 5 minutes later, my phone rang. "You just cost me everything," he screamed. "No," I said quietly. "You did that when you decided our wedding was a marketing opportunity." Evan didn't sleep that night. I know because neither did I. Around 2:17 a.m., my phone buzzed. "Evan, we need to talk." "Evan, please don't do this to us." By morning, his mother called. "Lena, sweetheart," Patricia said softly, the way people speak when they already think you're the villain. "Can't you just let him have this? Influencing is his passion." "His passion," I replied, "is monetizing our relationship. He's building a future." "So am I said. "Mine just includes consent." She hung up. An hour later, she called back. "What if we pay you?" she asked. "Evan's father and I. We'll compensate you for the rights." "How much?" I asked. A pause. 5,000. I laughed. I couldn't help it. "Flower Glam offered me 15, I said, "for non-exclusive rights, meaning I can sell it again." Silence. "You're lying," she whispered. I forwarded the email. She hung up again. Meanwhile, brands were getting restless. Evan had promised them full wedding access, behind-the-scenes footage, emotional arcs, a love story they could sell. Without my signature, he couldn't deliver. 3 more sponsors pulled out. Then the venue called me. "Ms. Whitmore," the coordinator said carefully, "we need to discuss documentation rights for the wedding." "I own them," I said. "Yes, we're aware," she replied. "Evan said you'd sign them over for the right price." "We're not married," I said. "I have no legal obligation to provide free content." "What would you want?" she asked. 8,000, I said, "or 50% of any revenue generated using our story." They chose the 8,000. When Evan found out, he showed up at my apartment with a contract in his hand. We'd never lived together, thank God. "Sign this," he said, slamming it onto the table. I read it. It gave him everything. "All rights, all future use, full control." "This isn't partial," I said. "This is ownership." "We're about to be married," he snapped. "What's yours is mine." "We're not married," I replied. "And even after marriage, intellectual property created beforehand remains separate." "You've ruined everything," he said, voice cracking. "I had 50,000 in brand deals lined up." "You didn't think to involve me?" I asked. "Didn't think to ask if I was comfortable? Or maybe cut me in?" "It was supposed to be a surprise," he said weakly. "Surprising me with monetizing our wedding?" He started crying. Real tears this time, not the kind he used for content. "I quit my job for this," he said. "You quit your job to be an influencer," I replied. "That was your choice." "I did it for us." "No," I said gently. "You did it for you." Then he dropped the bomb. "If you don't sign over the rights," he said, "I'm calling off the wedding." I pulled out my phone, opened my email. "Flower Glam, Pure Romance, Velvet Venus, and 6 others," I said. "Combined offer, $73,000 for exclusive rights to our wedding story." His jaw dropped. "That's only if we get married," I continued. "If we don't, the story's worth maybe 10. He stared at me. "So you calling off the wedding cost me $63,000, I said quietly. "You set me up," he whispered. "No," I said. "You set yourself up." He grabbed his phone and started recording. "My followers deserve to know who you really are," he said. "Go ahead," I replied. "Tell them I protected my life story. Tell them you tried to profit off our wedding without my knowledge." He stopped recording. For the first time since this began, he looked afraid. There was no wedding countdown after that. No venue walkthroughs, no cake tastings, no dress fittings. Just silence. until the night before what should have been our rehearsal dinner. Evan showed up at my apartment carrying a folder. Not a tablet, not a phone. Paper. I brought a real contract, he said quietly, drafted by actual lawyers. I didn't invite him in. He held it out like an offering. 50-50 split on all wedding content revenue, he said. Shared ownership of the Lena and Evan brand. Equal creative control. I read every page. It was fair. It was exactly what he should have predloged from the beginning. I'll sign this, I said. Relief flooded his face. But, I added, I need one more thing. His shoulders tensed. What? A prenup. He laughed nervously. A prenup? If you can turn our wedding into a business, I said, then we need to protect ourselves like business partners. I slid my own document across the table. Separate property stays separate. Income from influencing is individual. No claims on each other's earnings. He stared at it. Minutes passed. Then he shook his head. I can't sign this. Why? I asked. His answer came too fast. Because when we get divorced, I need to keep the brand. It's my career. The room went still. When we get divorced? I repeated. He froze. I mean, if, he stammered. If. It's just smart to plan ahead. Every influencer couple breaks up. There it was. The truth he'd been careful not to film. He wasn't marrying me. He was acquiring content. I was a storyline. A prop. The wedding's off, I said. You can't do this, he said, panic surging. I can, I replied, and I am. I'll destroy you online, he hissed. With what? I asked calmly. You can't use any of our content without my permission. He tried anyway. Posted a tear-filled video about being abandoned at the altar. We were in my living room, but without photos, without history, without our videos. It felt hollow. The comments noticed. Who's Evan? Where's the backstory? This feels staged. 2 weeks later, I signed a different contract. Netstream Originals, $100,000. Exclusive rights to a documentary about influencer culture. They called it Love Incorporated. Evan tried to sue to stop it. The judge didn't hesitate. You can't stop someone from telling their own story, he said. Evan argued, it's my story too. The judge nodded. Then tell your version, he said. Just don't use her copyrighted material. That's when Evan realized. He had nothing left to show. It's been 3 months. Here's where everyone ended up. Evan's influencer career is effectively over. Without the Lena and Evan content, he's just another lifestyle guy with recycled captions and forced smiles. His follower count dropped below 20,000 last time I checked. He's now working as a freelance social media manager for a mid-level MLM company, trying to sell authentic engagement strategies to people who don't know his history. The irony isn't lost on me. He tried launching a series called Rebuilding After Toxic Love. It didn't land. Without being able to show our photos, our messages, our videos, the story felt empty. Comments kept asking for proof, context, receipts. There were none he could legally share. Patricia still emails me sometimes. Long paragraphs, soft guilt, thinly veiled offers. I don't reply. The documentary premieres next month. Early screenings went well. Vendors, former sponsors, even wedding planners spoke candidly about how influencer weddings have become transactions instead of celebrations. Velvet Venues actually hired me as a consultant afterward. My job is to help them spot fake couples looking for free stuff. It pays well. I'm dating someone new. His name is Noah. He doesn't have Instagram. He doesn't ask me to film our dinners. He doesn't know what CPM stands for. When I told him the story, he listened without interrupting. Then he said, I'm sorry that happened to you. That was it. No advice, no content ideas, no monetization suggestions. Just empathy. Evan's sister reached out last week. Apparently, he's been trying to recreate the magic with a fitness influencer named Kayla. He's calling them Evan and Kayla. It's not catching on. She told me he keeps saying, Lena stole my life. I didn't steal anything. I just refused to give it away for free. The trademark for Lena and Evan expires in 2 years if unused. I'm letting it die. It was never really about us anyway. Turns out you can't copyright love, but you can protect the story you tell about it.